Scud the Dog, A True Story by Fisher Dickens. Read by Fisher Dickens. This book is dedicated to each person in our armed forces who, in their generous service, try to remember their homes while fighting for ours. Written and illustrated and published by Fisher Dickens. I wrote this book in 2011. There's an introductory paragraph that talks about the dog and how he came to be. I will read that at the very end of the book if you want to read that. If you want to hear that, you can just stay tuned. My people are scared. They run and they call. They're packing their things as the bombs fall. I can't find my mom. She's out herding the sheep. She's one of the dogs my people keep. I hear a man say, "We can't carry that pup. He can't come with us. He just won't keep up." I tried to follow, but I can't run that fast. I sat there and watched them through the desert they passed. The sounds hurt my ears. The air fills with smoke. My eyes are both burning. I'm starting to choke. A bomb fell right by where I decided to sit. I flew through the air, landing in a deep pit. Afraid and trembling, I curled up in a ball and stayed in that crater till the bombs did not fall. Then all was silent. There was nothing to hear until a calm voice spoke softly in my ear. "New people are coming. They come to get you. You'll not herd sheep. You've a new job to do. This work you are given will be fun, you will find. You're perfectly suited. I know you won't mind. Marines are now driving down this dirt road. Your job is to help them remember their home. They're far, far away from those they hold dear, and some have forgotten how to hold loved ones near." Shrapnel and sand were all over me. I tried to climb out, but it made my paws bleed. So I cried and I barked and I hoped they would hear. Their trucks kept on coming. They were very near. "Stop the truck," the man shouted. "There's a dog. He sounds hurt." He slid down in the crater and tucked me in his shirt. Back in the truck, I was so happy they'd come. He looked down in my eyes and thought of his home. His heart beat some faster, as when love makes them do. It was right at that moment, my big job, I knew. The men then decided I needed a name, so out of the bombings, Scud I became. Memories of home, good, bad, and all, people and feelings, I made them recall. Sometimes when drama in life does unfold, we hold in our secrets not to be told. I was this secret. They kept me well hidden, though everyone knew, not a word came unbidden. Against regulations, as no dog should they keep, in an old ammo crate in the day I did sleep. And it smelled just like heaven by his feet at the end of his sleeping bag where the nights I did spend. I loved my new person. I stayed right by his side. Whenever he left me, I sat there and cried. I loved chewing boots and destroying shoelaces. How excited this got them. They made great funny faces. With cuddles we brought back their family scenes. What marshmallow hearts had these big tough Marines. We played fetch with a shoe and shared MRE bags. My favorite by far was the ham and eggs. Trust and care of each other, so fragile we'd be. Sometimes I was teacher, at times they taught me. 32 missions along I did travel, and 1,000 miles as the war did unravel. Often some others would come and steal me from my people, so their homes they'd feel. I was their home and all that it meant, the love and the trouble, the good times they spent. I was their homes and their relief till the end of this war. 4 months were so brief. Who rescued whom? They never would see I rescued them. They think they rescued me. Then came the day they got the news it was time to go home. Their tour was through. So he packed up his gear and put me inside his camouflage rucksack where I was to hide. The orders to leave were theirs, but not mine. I'm still on duty with Marines left behind. He was mere feet from boarding the plane when I let out a yip, and the MPs, they came. "You can't take that dog on this plane back to the States. He has to stay here. Oh, what a sad fate." A Marine ran forth quickly, holding out both his hands. "Please, can I have him while I stay in this land?" So I had a new person with home in his heart. I climbed in his truck. Down the road we did start. I stood on the back seat. Out the window I looked, at tears streaming down faces and shoulders that shook. "Try not to be sad. Please don't cry anymore. You're going to those homes I brought back in this war. Whether near or far from friends we make, we form our homes with each step that we take. I often wonder how you've chosen to live. I hope it's in kindness with love that you give. I hope that whenever you think of me, you're sure to make home as it should be. In joy and in grief, life moves us along. Life only has meaning when memories are strong. We write our life's chapters, but some can't ever end, because to our spirit they are the thread. The end. This is from the beginning of the book. It tells about the story and where it came from. It's a true story, Scud the dog. Scud the dog is a true story related to me by Sean Stepanoff, a United States Marine who was in the Gulf War during Operation Desert Storm. It is believed that the 8 or 9-week-old puppy Sean rescued from the bottom of a bombed-out crater had been left behind by the Bedouins in their flight to escape the bombings. Scud was cared for by Sean and his buddy Fazio, that's the picture you see, and as many other Marines as could borrow him. Scud's 4-month relationship with Sean and Fazio ended with wrenching heartache when Sean had to leave him behind, with only hope that the rest of the special dog's life would be long and healthy and full of love outside the harshness of the desert. Sean would dearly love to know what became of Scud, but as of this writing, that remains a mystery. To bring a dog in the United States at that time in 1991 would have required the dog to be quarantined in a cage for a year and a fee of $1,800. Sean's search and inquiries for Scud have come to naught. It is unknown if Scud made it to the United States or not. Sean's unit was one of the last to leave Kuwait. When life experiences profoundly affect us, sometimes all we have left to do is leave the rest of the story in hands and hearts beyond our own and pray. Hopefully we might be able to find out what happened to Scud. Thank you to Sean for the story.